Today, I'm going to delve into a combination of two of the internet's most beloved subjects. That's right, we're talking cats and the apocalypse. Or how to help your cat survive the apocalypse anyway, so let's have at it, and welcome to the Wasteland. Hey everyone, this is Chris, and you are watching Wasteland by Wednesday. Now, I know that most prepper types tend to have dogs around, especially out at the various homesteads and wilderness compounds that we all tend to haunt, and my group is no exception to that. Because of that, though, there tends to be a lot of information already out there when it comes to prepping with dogs. But hey, what about the cat people, right? So, seeing as I am one of those cat people, the issue of prepping with cats is the one we're going to address today. And I have an assistant with me to help out. This, if she decides to come out, this is Dabs. You may have seen her in a previous video, but she wants her own moment in the spotlight, and what she wants, she gets. So here we are. Okay, since we are talking about total societal collapse here, we already know that staying put to bug in at an urban or suburban location is a non-starter. There are, of course, the everyday preparedness needs for other more tame scenarios, but those fall outside the scope of this channel, so I'm not getting into bugging in options this time. So, bug out it is. Now, like all bug out planning, the first step is to determine your purpose and then make a plan around that purpose. This is something that will be very specific to you, your environment, and your situation. Don't start gathering supplies and gear for your cat's bug out bag until you know exactly what the plan is going to be, and of course the backup plan to that plan. And then, of course, there's the other plan to have when the original backup plan fails after the failure of the primary plan. You get the picture. So anyway, let's take a look at some stuff. Are you coming to join me? This is how we usually do things around here. She insists on being a part of most things, and so now she gets her own little helper video. So, once you have the plan, then you can start gathering your supplies and stuff. Just like the video for my personal bug out bag, this one will pretty much showcase the supplies that I have put together in a cat kit for Dabs here and her sister. And it will explain some of my reasoning behind what I have chosen to put in the bags. There's also a more comprehensive article on my website with a complete list of all my gear and supply choices, and I will be linking that in the description below if you're interested. So, first up, we have the bags themselves, one for each cat and a supply bag that goes along with them. These bags were chosen for a reason. The backpack for Dabs because she likes to sit up and look out, and the more conventional soft bag for her sister Mocha because she would rather stay hidden a bit from the world around her and spy out from the shadows, as it were. Now, both of them know their bags quite well, and that is an important part of it. Any bug out will be stressful and frightening for everyone involved, and that goes double for the animals who don't really know what is happening at all. The more familiar you can make their experience, the better. Okay, so this brings me to the next set of items, which are comfort items, sometimes referred to as scent soakers. These are things that, such as favorite toys, blankets, and such that the cats have used extensively. These will help them to stay calm during the bug out and, of course, after. Another of the comfort items that I like to keep on hand is a little bit of Meowiwana or catnip silvervine mix, which she's quite familiar with. I'm certain that when the hammer drops on all of us, many of us are going to wish we could be a little high for it. And while us humans can't really be in such a state, the same can't be said for the furry refugees, who will no doubt appreciate a little bit of the good stuff, right? Yes. Now, in addition to the bags, we also have special harnesses and leashes for both cats. Depending on how things go and whether we end up on foot or not, the bags themselves may have to be discarded at some point. The harnesses could also be used to let the cats have some freedom once they are in the car, or even at a layover point somewhere, or at a base camp, whatever. For those purposes, we also have pet enclosures, little pop-up tents and stuff like that that we can give them a little bit of space while still keeping them contained for security purposes. When it comes to food and water, these will obviously be your biggest and most important preps for your own feline companions. Now, cats are animals that are well suited to fending for themselves, and once you get settled into your new bug-out location, they will adapt pretty quickly. They'll even be a prepping resource for your new home, as they will kill and eat rodents and other small pests that will become more of a problem in a post-collapse environment. But during the initial bug out and for a short period of adjustment afterwards, they're going to need supplies just as much as the people will. There are many calculations that go into the proper amount of food and water to have on hand for cats, and in that article I mentioned, I'm listing several good online calculators for exactly that. Again, I will link that in the description. But a good rule of thumb is that an average active adult cat will need about 1/2 to 2/3 cup of dry food, or between 8 and 10 ounces of wet food per day. Water requirements are roughly 4 ounces of water, or 1/2 cup per day, per 5 pounds of body weight. This will change based on whether the cat eats dry or wet food, mostly, as the wet food is usually somewhere around 70% or more moisture. There are also nutritional needs to the food content to look at as well. Now, I will go over some of the items that we tend to use in our own little bug out kits. Somebody needs a lunch break, it seems. One of the items are these Nulo packets. These are like little squeeze treats or whatnot. They're not a whole lot of calories each, but at the end of the day, they are 90% moisture, and getting cats to drink in the desert is going to be important. Since I'm in a desert environment, we go with these. I keep 100 of them in here. We're a big fan of the Nulo food altogether. So for the hard food, I go with the Nulo Metal Series. Also, a big deal, okay, when you're talking about longevity for food, is freeze-dried food. All right, Nulo makes good freeze-dried food. There's also these Pure Bites. Now, this is 100% pure freeze-dried chicken. That's the only ingredient, chicken breast. That's it. Instinct also has these raw boost mixers. These are a great source of other vitamins and nutrients that they need. They can be given as snacks or even as little MREs. Most of this stuff, just so you know, we break down and vacuum seal into Mylar bags for easier carrying. Something else, freeze-dried. Instinct Raw Boost Shakers. This stuff is actually a pretty good calorie count per tablespoon, and it can be topped onto other food or mixed with water to make sort of a pate. And of course, everyone loves it, right? So when we do seal them up, so for example, this bag of Nulo looks like this once it's completely vacuum sealed down with a good oxygen absorber. This will last quite a few years, okay? Something else to think of with the expiration dates on this food, all of this stuff is good until 2026. Now, what we do is we always keep quite a bit of food on hand, and we rotate through it, what's in the bags with what's in the house. The main food, of course, is these Nulo Moose meals, and we keep those in quite a big supply, 12 of them for each cat. One other further thing are these little Simply Nourished. This is just broth. Okay, and again, getting cats to drink, we're in a desert environment. So getting the cats to drink is going to be a very important thing. But in short, you want to make sure that you have plenty of food supplies. Okay, so now this stuff here is basically 10,000 calories or 5,000 calories per cat, roughly. And it's a little bit off. The little one, Dab, she only goes through, I think it's 175 calories per day, and then 250 for her larger, more portly sister. The important thing is that you have enough food for your animals to make it to your bug out location based on your worst case scenario. For us, that's 11 days. We double it to 22. Like I said, I will link the more in-depth calculators below. For now, basically, these are the items that we use for our own cat plan, okay? We have the 2 cats, very different sizes and attitudes. Dabs here is very small and sassy and only weighs about 7 pounds. She's also an active mouser. Her sister, Mocha, is twice her size and more of a grumpy cat that doesn't like the camera. But they have very different caloric needs based on their size, so we have accounted for that. We have also figured out what is the absolute longest period of time it could take to reach our bug out location in the worst case scenarios in our plan. And then we doubled that to determine how much food and water to bring. First, at the house where the cats are normally reside, there is always at least a 3-month supply of food. This is the same rule that we follow for the people as well, and is considered the absolute minimum. Out at the bug out compound itself, there is a great deal more, of course. So in addition to food, there's a lot of other little odds and ends, and I'm sure you're going to want to add a bunch of different stuff to your own kit. But like I mentioned, we also have the pop-up enclosures for the cats. We do bring a 6-month supply of flea and tick medication. We also have several of these small collapsible water bowls and other collapsible food bowls. Small animal first aid kit that we keep separate from the people first aid kit, and also a small collapsible blanket because why the hell not? One thing I did want to mention on these Mylar bags, make sure you get the ones that are textured or else they won't really work too well in your traditional food sealers. All right, guys, well, that about covers the basics for cat prep, and I just wanted to do that short video today to help out with people and their furry friends, because we need to take care of them as well, all right? Nobody gets left behind, and that includes cats, right? Listen, you guys, stay safe, stay ready. It's a wasteland out there.